G'day, comrade subscribers. Let me just get this out of the way. Thanks for hanging around. I was wondering how many people were going to unsubscribe when I posted my 3D printer rant yesterday, and only one person did, so I was quite surprised actually. So thanks to everyone else for hanging around. As always, you don't have to watch the videos. You know, if I post a video and it doesn't appeal to you, don't watch it. So I'd rather you stay subscribed and then just watch the videos you do like. Anyway, big thanks to my neighbour Chris for printing this for me. So he's got an Ender 3 V3 SE, which is a cheaper model than the one I've got, which is the Ender 3 V3. Apparently, I don't understand how Creality do their printers, because his printer looks completely different to my Ender 3 V3. But the best thing about his printer is that it works. So he very kindly printed this for me today. I think it took about 6 hours. So this is the single disc adapter bracket for a 5 1/4 inch drive. So I'm not sure of the guy's name. It'll be all in the video description. He's called OZROM on Thingiverse or whatever it is. But yeah, so when we're replacing the 5 1/4 inch drive on the Osborne, we've got this. He's done 3 sets of brackets. So he's done one which is basically a hard drive replacement, so it's all covered here. He's done this single one, and he's done a double one here. So this single one is all we need really for a Gotek. So I just need to break out this fill-in spacer stuff. So let me just do that, and we'll try putting the Gotek in. With a little bit of coaxing and cutting, I think it's all coming out. So yeah, I think yeah. So big shout out to Chris. Thanks for doing this, Chris. We're always much appreciated. There we go. So the Gotek should just sit just a little bit. Just a little bit. I think I'm going to start a 4th channel called Bruff Listens. So I don't know if you know the story about why I use the word Bruff, or the nickname Bruff. Let me get this in. I think the issue is just there's a little bit of a, let me get the light in the way, just a little bit of a edge there. But yeah, so I was Computer Expo in Brisbane, zoom out, and the 80s, and back when computer expos were interesting, and they had an Apple II there with a Hangman program, and it said, "What's your name?" So I started typing in BR, and I accidentally pressed F instead of E, and I went FFFFF. And I think I started trying to delete it or something, and Dad said, "Oh, don't worry about it." So, and just press the enter key. So the whole way through this Hangman game, so mind you, I was in primary school at this stage, so kept calling me Bruff. So that's where Bruff comes from, and that was my my nickname ever since. So I'm going to start I think a 4th channel called Bruff Listens, where I'm going to go on about obscure music, not so much as a excuse me, as a music reviewer, but just like Aussie bands from the 90s and stuff that I think, well, I really love, that I think should get more love. So I might do that. Listen to the Mandelbrot set today. So they're a band from the 90s, probably Sydney. But they're hard to find unless you know the name of any of their albums. If you try and find music by the Mandelbrot set, you are going to be swamped with irrelevant stuff. So, there we go. Just trying to get it in a bit more. A little bit tight. I'm just saying, because these screw holes here don't really seem to match up. Okay, they match up with those ones there, so that means I probably need to thin out or kind of shape out this front section a bit more. It's not really going through. Yeah, it needs to go forward a bit more, I think. So I just need to shave it a bit. Oh, is it going? Is it going? Just forcing it. No, I don't think the screw holes aren't really matching up yet. No, a little bit more. Okay, let me work on this. It's not, I suspect that this needs to be flush, which would make sense, but it's not there yet. I might have to, not really seeing, I might have to cut out a little bit more at the top there. Of course, it could be my Gotek, so I could maybe just, actually looking at the way the Gotek is, that's flatter there than it is there actually. So I don't know, maybe if I squeeze this down, squeeze it down, it might fit through. So I'm cutting, well, not much, but I just realised instead of trying to force it through that way, maybe I should just force it through this way. Maybe this will work better, actually, maybe it will. Okay, it's a little bit proud at the front. Screw hole almost matches up now at the back, although you can't see it because of the shadow. There you go, it almost matches up there. And almost at the front there. So yeah, just needs to go in a little bit. So I know that this will fit. Just a smidgen more. Well, it's not going, so I might need to, maybe it's the corners. Well, that's, I think that feels like it's going through. Maybe this corner is the issue. Okay, work continues. But I think coming in through the front's the easiest way to do it. Okay, I think I've done it. Unfortunately, I dragged the knife along that, but I've managed to force it in, so, and screw holes match up. So, there we go. There we go. Alright, let me screw it all in. And actually, the way it goes in the... So what I'll need to do is put this on here. And where there are actually screw holes there as well. So that goes in like that. And then that will, yeah. Something like that. Okay. Right, good morning comrades. Let's continue. So we don't need this because I think this is just here to protect the drive mechanisms. So I'll just leave that like that. Get that out of the way. Actually, I'll go put this out. I'll put this away and get the Osborne on the bench. Alright, so what we need to do is, where is it? The screw holes on the bottom. So we need to pull the whole thing apart so that we can put the screws in underneath. So we need to take the bottom off, get the motherboard out, and then we can turn it upside down and very easily screw these in. So, do it like this. Got a vote today. Local government elections. Yay! It's compulsory to vote in Australia. Otherwise, you get a fine. We all complain about it, but at least with compulsory voting, you don't have disasters like Brexit happening. And sorry if you supported Brexit, but that when you put up massive trade barriers with your major trading partner, it doesn't make any sense. So I can complain about it because I am a British citizen through my dad. My dad was born in England, so I was very lucky to get British citizenship. And I benefited from it because I was able to work in Finland with absolutely no hassles whatsoever, and I could travel around Europe. Same with my wife. My wife have had British citizenship, or has citizenship. So, because the problem with the Brexit vote is that they say, oh, a majority voted for Brexit, and then of course the next day everyone was Googling, what is the EU? So what they don't say though is that a majority who voted, not a majority voted, a majority who voted, because definitely a majority did not vote for Brexit. That is a lie. So who knows if we're going to ever get to rejoin the EU. France didn't want us to join in the first place because they thought we'd be a problem. And look what happened. Oh, we were a problem. Okay, that's the bottom off. Yeah. What about the benefits of Brexit, you say? What benefits? We can make our own laws. True. But if we want to trade with the EU, we still need to follow their laws. So, but the difference is, we have no say in the laws anymore. Whereas before, we had a massive say. We actually had a veto. We could veto laws, I think, that we didn't want to implement, something like that. But now, if we want to trade with the EU, we still need to follow their laws, but we have absolutely no say in them. So I don't see how that's a benefit. Oh, but we can use the imperial. We can sell things in pounds, and we can use the imperial measurements now. It's like, why is that? How is that progressive? I don't understand that either. All right. Anyway. So there we go, we've got I won't go too far. There's my little, well, you can't see it, it's just off the screen. There's my little dual ROM daughter board. So I might replace that while I'm here. And actually this is the RAM bank over here in this corner, where I need to replace, I think it was 24, or was it D24? So I think it's maybe this chip here that's faulty. Anyway, let's get this in. Okay, before we screw it in, we obviously need to reconnect all the cabling. So that goes on there for power. And yeah, so good old Brexit. I don't think France isn't going to let us back in. It's going to take a long time. Thing is, we were in there and we had we had a special place. We get back in there, we're not going to have that special place anymore. We're probably going to have to accept the euro if we want to rejoin. Probably going to have to take the euro. And they're probably going to say, no, you're not going to have any special place. Poland, the former communist bloc countries are going to have more say in stuff than we do. Absolutely insane. So, yeah, sure, we complain about compulsory voting, but I've seen what happens when we don't have it. So, I don't know if I might have to make these holes bigger. See, they're going to match up. There we go. Just trying to, one hole matches up. Okay, two holes kind of match up. 3. They look a bit small for that though. That's the only problem. So you probably can't see it, but I've got the whole... Yeah. Alright, let me get these done. I might have to... Yeah. Alright, let's see. So as you can see here, so that's the hole that I'm supposed to go into, but it's just... A self-tapping screw would be better. Or maybe actually I need to kind of force it in, and then I'll be able to screw it in there. I think might have to force it in. All right, so I might replace the original. So that's the original screw there with a washer with one of these self tappers, I think. That might be, so that self tapper fits in nicely there. It's a little longer than I'd like, but at least on here it's going to go in much easier rather than trying to force that in. So yeah, I've either got these or I've got those. So these ones I don't need a washer for because they're nice and wide. These ones I probably... Oh, I don't think I can get the washer off here anyway. No, you can't get the washer off. Probably add a washer to them. Yeah, alright. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't think I've got any... Just sorting through my collection. I don't think I've got any short... Oh, I've got... Oh. I do have those. They're a little smaller. Maybe if I've got 4 of those. Alright, let's see what I end up with. Okay, there we go. So I've used 4 of those screws. The holes in the bracket lined up. And seems to be in there nicely. Now let's get the motherboard back on. Whilst I've got the board out, I've redone my little dual BIOS ROM. So this is the original. People complained I put the pins in upside down, so I've put the pins in the other way around this time, which makes sense. And I've already tested the ROM, so I've gotten rid of the ROM socket, which just means that it's more slimlined now. So that's where it goes in there. Like so, plenty of room, and then we've got our single pole, single throw switch here to switch the A12 line. Okay, now it would be good. I'm pretty sure that this is the RAM over here, and I had a look. It was supposed to be 4116s, so 16 kilobit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So one bank is 16K, 16, 32, 48, 64. So I think from the last video when I ran the OZROM diagnostics by pressing tab, I think it's complaining about D24, so apparently this one. So I've ordered a 4116 from the UK because I'm getting some Spectrum parts. But I'll also probably order a batch of 4116s from Unicorn Electronics in the US as well. So I've got some handy. Because they're the same, well, they don't say 4116. AM9016 FPC. But I think they're 4116 equivalent. Same as what's used in the lower 16K of the Spectrum. Anyway, so that's all that for now. I need to drill a hole in the front face here to mount that switch, but obviously I'm not going to put the front face here on yet because I still need to pull it all apart to fix this. But let's put it back together and see how the Gotek goes now. Okay, so on the motherboard, actually I don't think I heard the speaker working last time. Something's happened to the speaker. Alright, so connect up the floppy cable that way. the other way around, I think. There we go. Floppy connectors on. Next to the power. Power connector is on. And then I think this is video up the top here. I can connect that in. Alright. Swing this around. And screw those back on. So there we go. That's what it looks like. Having a look at my little BIOS switcher ROM. Fits in quite nicely down there. And on the front here, so let's put the fascia on. Well, we're not putting it on, but seating it. Oh, how's that? Got my, not perfect because I've got my little switch there I need to sort out later. And I'm doing this one-handed, but I was a bit worried that these might be too thin, but perfect. How's that? So that's how it's going to look. When it's all put back together. Awesome. And you might have noticed, I'm going to talk about the video in a minute, if you're looking at these machines, I don't think there's any way that you can tell whether they're single density or whether they've got the double density upgrade. Certainly these original ones. But I think if they've got an RCA socket here, then I think that means that they've got the high res upgrade installed, because that's what the RCA socket is there for, I believe. So if you see one of these for sale and it's got an RCA socket there, then it's got the high res installed, probably. But I want to look at the connector anyway. So obviously also you need to make sure it's got that that connector here as well, although you can buy replacements. Right, getting there. Now, talking about this XMON, so this allows you to have, this is what I was capturing the video with in the last video, which was quite dodgy. So I opened it up, so it's actually glued, but it actually opens up. This is what it looks like inside. Zoom in. So I'm not exactly sure what this is. I don't know whether this is I don't know if it's whether a resistor network or something. But that's the RCA socket there. I was thinking of trying to replace it. You can see it goes. Where's my pointer? This will do. So it goes this one there, I think. Yeah. I think it connects to that there. And then this connects to, well, that's the edge connector there. So I don't know what this is. Is it just 75 ohms or something? So to impedance match or something? So I wanted to replace it. I've got, I don't know, just because I'm trying to get a better video capture for you guys. I've got these handy, but it's not really, because these are obviously, I don't know, newer. Unless I just give it a bit of a clean, perhaps. I could stick that. Oh, it's not going to have the same mechanical strength, is it? So I could stretch that out. Alright, maybe I'll just give it a clean, see if that'll improve it. Alright, let's try and fire it up. Right, I think after a bit of fiddling, we are set to go. So I've got the 01 CPMU disk in. So let me get set up. And I think the video capture is looking pretty stable as well. So let's see how we go. Okay, start the capture and shift to do set that as drive A. Unfortunately, a little bit cut off, but it's all working. Unfortunately, I don't have many single-sided, no, not single-sided, single-density disk images. So let's see if we can swap the disk. So I don't know if I need to do any setup. Osborne one, which diskette do you want to configure? Drive A or drive B? Oh, this is where I need to get a floppy. I think I was going to get a floppy. Let me try and find a floppy. Let me stop this here. Then stop this. Okay, so don't worry about what I was trying to do there. It didn't work. So I need to find a format program for the Osborne because I don't have any at the moment. Single density. All right, let's just start recording again the screen. There we go. So we've got OZROM BIOS running. So we've got CPM utility. So shift inverted commas to make the right-hand drive drive A. Unfortunately, I don't have very many single density programs. We've got basic, WordStar, and SuperCalc. Try and load SuperCalc. Which one's Calc? One is Calc. Let's try that one. There we go. Do a directory of that. Okay, so I've got an overlay, so SC. Let's see if this works. Remembering that I've got a faulty DRAM, so I might not actually work, which it doesn't. So yeah, I think that's probably because of the faulty DRAM. And yes, the herd of elephants above. All right, hopefully that was of some interest. Let me just reboot that, reset that. So yeah, next thing will be getting that DRAM and fixing it, and also trying to generate some single density blank disk so that I can copy some software onto it, like games. It might be more interesting. Okay, there we go for now. Talk to you later.